Okay, guys, I am back. I'm going to center this because I think it was a little off. Again, we're going to keep going over the punchboards. I hope you're enjoying this. And we're going to look at, these are for the traps. There's a trap system in the game. It started out where it was the Tomb of Calidar only had traps, and some people asked, could we use the trap system on other boards? So I worked it and I put the trap system in, so you can use the trap system on all the dungeon boards, or if you don't want that much of a challenge, you don't have to. So that's what these are. There is the trap art on the other side, see, like kind of the bear trap. And when I designed this trap system, it's random every game. There's going to be like little symbols on the floor with like this glowing skull. And what you do is you shuffle these tokens up and you put them on there. So the thing is, you'll never know. Sometimes you'll get a clear status where you don't have to, you won't draw a trap card. Sometimes you will you'll have to draw a trap card. And we will be getting into the trap cards when we get into the box. Okay, here's a little tip to remember. Sometimes you're going to find these tokens. There's for the secret rooms and for the crates. And they're the same on each side. Know that those are called master tokens. And master tokens are, of course, double-sided. And you use these during setup to populate where the crates are going to show up in the dungeon. So we'll be getting into that. But just know when you see like double-sided crate tokens, those are known as master tokens. Now, this is something very cool. I think you're going to totally dig. And we might be using... Where did Cain go? We're going to be using him again. Okay, I got him. I love lockpicking in games. So what I did was I came up with a cool mechanic that when you come upon like a locked chest and some other things. What's a trap token? What you're gonna do is, I like those, those game mechanics that have where you put tokens into a mug or a bag and you pull one out. I love that mechanic. So lockpicking in Dungeon Crusade is, let's pull a few out. Let's take those out, okay? I should have brought the dice up. Darn it. You're gonna put these, like all of those into a bag, right? So say Cain, use him, pick on him again. Let's say that Cain came upon a treasure chest and it was locked. It's going to have you reach into the bag with all those tokens and pull one out. I'm just going to pull one out randomly. We'll pull this out. We're going to dig this. Okay, now see that? No, I just better focus. I really want you to see that. This is the inside of a lock mechanism. And a very awesome artist, Anna Kamar from Germany, did a lot of this token art. I really want you to see that. I think now it will work. That's close enough, right? Okay. Okay, now see that there's a ×3 in white, and then there's the numbers 5, a red 5, a green 5, and then a 4 in blue. Right? Yeah, 4. There you go. So what you're going to do is this. What the lock picking is, that's telling us that this lock, you're going to have 3 attempts before it breaks. Okay? You're going to take the red D6, the green D6, and the blue D6. So you're going to have 3 attempts to pick that lock. You're going to roll those dice. You set successive rolls aside. So let's say we rolled, right? Oh, wait. You always look at a hero's lockpicking skill. Cain here has a +1. He's a ranger. He's pretty good with locks. We can add +1 to that lockpicking. So he's actually going to get 4 attempts. So what we do is, let's say we took the red, the green, and the blue D6 with this. We roll all of them. For sake of argument, we got a 5 on the red one, and on the green and blue, we only had a 1 and a 2. We would set that red die aside. We already picked that part of the lock. We'd re-roll the green and blue one. Let's say that we hit a 6 on the green one and a 1 on the blue one. We're going to take the green die and set that aside. We have 2 attempts left. And then finally on the third try, we roll a 5. We have successfully picked the lock. And then you get to draw a treasure card or whatever, whatever that would be. And actually, you'll use this for secret rooms. And so you want to get someone like your rogue. She's got I think she's got a +2, +3 to lock picking. So she's good at picking locks on the secret rooms, the secret chambers, which could be treasure chambers. Yeah, there's treasure chambers in this game too, with some buku gold. So you want, the appropriate hero to lockpick. But in saying that, because I really wanted to get down to the nitty-gritty, like your barbarian Maheliak, he's terrible. On his card, it says -2, which means if we went back to this one and it said, +3, you're going to -2 because he's like a barbarian. He doesn't know how to pick locks, and it makes sense, right? So, then a rogue, of course, is excellent. So she's going to have a better attempt of more chances, using more finesse to pick that lock open. There you go. I hope you like the lock picking system. It is very fun, I assure you. Moving right along as I drop more tokens. What we're going to look at. Oh, that's monster tokens. Wait, there's going to be another sheet coming up. I'm going to put this down for now. Again, I hope you're enjoying all this. You're learning more about Dungeon Crusade. Get you excited to play. And we still got more tokens here, or sheets rather, punchboards. These, actually, let's do this first. Remember we just looked at elderberry juice? There's harvest bread. And when you read the story of Dungeon Crusade and the Avalon Adventure board game, all of this runs throughout. So you're going to be hearing about harvest bread and elderberry juice. When a hero, let's just pop that out now. This could be a gift when the heroes go back to Celebration Day. The villagers could give them, each one of them, a loaf of harvest bread. When they consume the harvest bread, they can regain 2 health and 2 essence. So that's what it is. And of course, you could trade. You could give, if all the heroes want to take their harvest bread and give it to one hero, that's fine. And they can consume this at any time they wish. So that's what that is. These here, remember we were talking about champion monsters? And remember, champion monsters always reside in the chambers of the dungeon. This is what's awesome about this. And I'm going to tell you, because since all these are the same, I'm going to pop this out. Actually, I'm going to pop a few of these out. And I'm going to show you something I think you're really going to dig. And I made sure I gave you guys some extra ones too. So when you design your quest, you have enough of these things. Okay. Let's say we're setting up a quest, and we're going to get to the quest cards. When I designed this quest system, I wanted to make this replayable for you, okay? So remember the quest tokens we looked at? Those are going to show up in different chambers. Like it's going to, when you read the quest card, it's going to say a few zones in the dungeon. That's always going to change every time you play. The quest item's going to show up in different places. Monsters. On your quest card, I really want to go play this game after talking about it this much. On your quest card, it's going to tell you, and remember, these tokens go with champion monsters. You never know what champion monsters are in the chambers. What's going to happen is the quest is going to tell you to pull, for example, pull 2 empty chamber tokens. See this purple, swirly design? I thought that's like a monster spawn thing. So that's just my own thing. So let's just say a quest tells us to pull 2 empty chamber tokens. We got that. It then says, get 4 level 1 monster tokens. Okay, so here's all our 4 level 1. You're going to love this quest system. Totally replayable. And then finally it says, get 2 level 2 monster tokens. Okay? It's going to tell you to shuffle these, and you're not allowed to look, of course. Don't look at these. So it's going to tell you to shuffle them. Then it's going to tell you to take 6 of those randomly. Don't look at these two. Just take the 6 you have, not looking. Set these aside. You're never allowed to look at these till the end of the game. You don't, because then you're going to know what's in these. Don't look at those. And it's going to tell you to take these 6, whatever they are, and populate the chambers in like 2 certain zones of the dungeon, or 3. I'm just using an example. So each one of these is going to go into a chamber. You'll never know, okay, is there an empty chamber in there? Is it a level 1 monster? Is it a level 2? But then, you know, it even gets bigger where it might say put 4 level 2 monsters, 4 level 1, and 3 empty chambers. You know, I mixed it up for you guys. So we'll reveal now. So let's say for this quest, we would encounter a level 2 monster. We would an empty chamber, level 1 monster, and another level 1. So we know that there was a level 2 and an empty chamber over there, right? Oh, level 1 and a level 2. But this was just a quick example of that. So that's what I was saying before, that when I created these quests, I had to be appropriate, in air quotes, where I couldn't just throw a freaking level 3 in there with level 1s and 2s, because, you know, you want to be appropriate and remember this, you want to be kind of appropriate when you're creating the quest for people. That, you know, you don't put something in there that's just going to kill them right away. But again, I'm going to be doing a workshop video for you guys on quest creation and scenario. It's easy to set up, but there are some calculations you need to make when you're designing this stuff. Okay? What are we at? We're going to finish up here, because then we're going to get inside the box. So I know you guys want to see that. This, some minions here. That's where I took the doors out. So that is a skeletal grunt. That is an orc siege breaker, and that is an overgrown massive black viper. Overgrown black viper. And I'm going to tell you before we give you a little tip. See these guys here, these orc siege breakers? You got to watch these guys. What is it? I know for one, they're versed in chaos warfare, physical warfare. I can't remember the other one, but they're very strong because, you know, they're physical and chaotic. But there's the elite. There's normal versions of these guys. There's one normal version that just has the origin story I wrote, and then the red and green ones, and this is throughout all the minions. Blue minions just have the origin story. They're the normal version. The elite versions are red and green, you know, the bases, and they have special abilities. And you got to watch these guys, because if they turn into a raiding minion, remember we take, you know, the raid, if they make it to the village, you know, you're going to have to raise the terror level up by 1. But they have a special ability called Rampage, and you got to roll the d20. And if that hits, Rampage activates, and you raise it again. So if these guys escape the dungeon, they can really wreak havoc, and they can, you know, they'll lose the game for you. So that's that. And finally, for the last punch board, there's a lot of punch boards. Here is these are hit markers. You know, remember when we were just battling the massive viper? You simply just put these things on its monster card, and this is how you remember how much damage they have. And, you know, like with guardians, you know, when you're going to be using a lot of those when you're fighting guardians. So that's what that is. And then finally, these things here are life force. And this is a good time to end with this. Life force. You're going to know, actually, let's get, hold on. Let me get that one back out. Our buddy here. Okay, so let's say Cain was, I remember when he was battling him. Perfect. Now stay in focus. See the green 2 over here? That means that upon slaying that monster is worth 2 life force. Think of life force as XP in the game. However, in Dungeon Crusade, I put a twist on it. You put your life force tokens into a pool. All heroes can draw from that. You're going to use life force to level up your hero on Celebration Day. That's when they can become level 2 and level 3. You always have 2 celebration days, guys. I have to say that. You use life force to level up. It costs 4 life force to level your hero up. You use life force to purchase special abilities. So, and then I'm not going to get into this, but some of you know about the underworld artifacts. They're evil weapons. They're the most deadly weapons in the game, and they do a hellacious amount of power, damage to a monster. They're massive. But there's a chance that those weapons can consume your hero's soul, and you have to power underworld artifacts with life force. And I kind of wanted to give that decision to the player. Okay, you're this good player, you're a hero, but you have this evil weapon that can consume your soul, and you have to use something good in something bad. But we're going to look at underworld artifacts and all that stuff. And guys, I think that's going to conclude it for now. I'm going to... Hold on, let's see what's left in here. I think it's just going to be a bunch of cards to go over. But when we come back, I'm going to have all of this broken down and inside of these things for you to check out. So we're going to be going over cards. And you know what? Wait. I'll leave you on a high note. I'll leave you with something to look forward to. Let me get this stuff out. Bear with me. What a time my camera cut off. I am so sorry about that. Anyway, we're gonna end it with this. I absolutely love these games, and I love loot. All of us love loot in this game, in these kind of games. Some of you have not seen this before, so I thought, one of my favorite games is Diablo, and there's a ton of loot in that. So I thought when I created Dungeon Crusade, I want to have a lot of loot for myself and fellow gamers. My friends, this is how you do loot in a dungeon game. So Dungeon Crusade contains 193 pieces of loot. How do you like that? I made sure I went through 9 different levels of loot, and I'll tell you what, we're gonna leave that for a surprise, but you are going to dig when you see all this loot and fabled gear and underworld artifacts, and there's junk loot. You're not going to get good stuff all the time. I've created junk loot. So we're going to leave that, but I just thought I'd let you see that. I made sure you guys were hooked up. That's a loot deck. 193 pieces. And there you go. Give you a good shot of the card. There you go, loot. Okay, guys, I am going to head out and love you guys. I love talking to you, and I hope you're enjoying the videos. Some of them went a little overboard. When we come back, we're gonna go through some of the loot. I'm going to show you that. We're going to get back into the box. We'll see everything broke down into the storage containers. So stay tuned. I will be back soon.